VOR.
Reach your Papa, radar services terminated. Squawk 1201 for the VFR corridor. Change advisory approved. Have a safe flight.
Okay, thanks. Going to 1201 and to the other frequency. Thanks, 458 Sierra Papa.
No, this is really good because it's the kind of thing I'd be totally afraid to do like on my own.
I'm Jason Miller, a full-time professional flight instructor. On the Finer Points channel, you can join me as I bring you tips and tricks that I've learned from 20 years on the flight line. All right, good morning, aviators. Welcome back to the Finer Points. Here I am in San Diego, California. I'm just finishing up one of my lecture tours, and I'm headed back to San Carlos. It's a beautiful day. The weather looks great. The rain has moved out, and we have a great VFR flying day. I'm with a student, and we're doing a long cross country all the way back to Northern California. So what I want to show you in this video is how to transition the Los Angeles Class Bravo airspace using the SFRA, or the Special Flight Rules Area. Now there's lots of ways to do this. There's one called the mini route. You can do it at a high altitude, and the one we're going to pick today is what I think is probably, the path of least resistance for most pilots. We're going to be northwest bound at 4,500 feet in the Special Flight Rules Area, and here's how it works. When you look at a direct course from Montgomery Field to San Carlos Airport, you'll notice that it goes straight through the Los Angeles Class Bravo airspace. I suppose it's possible to fly directly over the airspace, but today we had high overcast that prevented us from doing that, and I wanted to take the opportunity to show people how relatively simple it is to fly straight through the Los Angeles Bravo airspace. To do that, you have to understand how the special flight rules work. Look at a document called the Los Angeles Terminal Area Chart Supplement, and you'll see that there are 5 possible routes. The Coliseum route, which is available for aircraft flying at 8,500 or 9,500 if you're southeast bound. The Hollywood Park route, which is available again to aircraft flying at higher altitudes. The mini route, which requires communication with Los Angeles Tower and is not typically available during normal business hours, as far as I can tell. They will not allow it. The coastal route for those aircraft that are flying at 6,500, and for us today, like I said, the path of least resistance was a route that took us up at 4,500 because we had the higher clouds above us. So to do this, it's relatively simple. The trick is just believing that you don't actually have to talk to air traffic control. What you do have to do is squawk 1201, track the Santa Monica VOR inbound on the 132 degree radial, make your communications on 128.55 and use VFR checkpoints the same way you would at a non-towered field. You're simply going to self-announce your position. If you're in an aircraft that flies a bit faster, make sure you do not exceed 140 knots. And honestly, that's about it. So the rest is just believing it can be done. Take a look. Here's how it works.
VOR.
Reach your Papa, radar services terminated. Squawk 1201 for the VFR corridor. Change advisory approved. Have a safe flight.
Okay, thanks. Going to 1201 and to the other frequency. Thanks, 458 Sierra Papa.
What's the frequency for the special flight rules?
All right, let's check it out. It's 12855. Let me verify that with the document that I have here. And then will you get the Santa Monica VOR tuned in there for me?
Yeah.
Special flight rules, frequency is on 12855.
12855 for...
Good. That's all I get.
Special flight rules, white Cessna 24352 northwest bound at Hawthorne.
Not far, so it'll come in. Just hold this heading a little bit to the right. Good, okay. So we heard that first call, you're 4,500, you're not yet in the corridor.
And Long Beach is too far away to make the first call to give people the heads up?
I think it's a little far, especially based on how busy it was before. I'll tell you when you're getting closer to Hawthorne.
Okay. The planes, the traffic I'm seeing...
24352 at 4,500 northwest bound over midfield.
I just want to be sure of it because...
LA Special Flight Rules.
Here's your ETA of Beam Hawthorne. So when that says 0, you can just make your first Special Flight Rules Area call.
Okay.
You're gonna be a pro at this 4,000 foot transition, man.
Yeah, this is really good because it's the kind of thing I'd be totally afraid to do like on my own without.
Right. There you go. That heading's perfect. You did much better with your altitude control today, by the way. it's a light grip. Look at that. It's a perfect grip on the yoke.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot. And some of it is that we're not, the other stuff is so skill building driven that I'm got my hands on it all the time.
Yeah.
But this has been a good lesson in I don't have to do that even in some of the skill building exercises.
Right.
So we've got traffic here, so we're definitely coming right up on.
Excellent. Yeah, there it is. Shot of that guy going under the clouds. Yeah, so we're coming up over. So you can make your first call now. You're over Hawthorne.
LA special flight rules. That's not 24, 352, 4,500, just over 10 and
Don't turn right.
Flight rules heading
There you go.
Special flight rules, Cessna 458 Sierra Papa over Hawthorne, 4,500 northwest bound. Special flight rules.
One of my students invited me to come play the Bel Air golf course.
How was that?
I don't know, I didn't do it yet, but I was thinking, he's a super cool guy. And I was just, after he invited me, I'm like, that's probably a pretty fancy golf course. It's probably like.
It says Bel Air, that sounds important.
I think that's probably like a nice place. I should probably take him up on that.
Yeah, that's like if you're from somewhere else and somebody says, hey, you want to play the Olympic Club, you may or may not know.
Right.
Did I make a
Let's go back to the left a little bit. Yeah, so we're just not quite on the right track here. Yeah, and then you tell me we're over LAX. That's correct.
Special flight rules, Cessna 458 Sierra Papa, midfield, LAX, 4,500, northwest bound. Special flight rules.
Excellent.
Oh, man, what a great view of LAX. You got your camera?
I do. I got the airplane?
You have the airplane.
So this is the shot that Rob got. It's a spectacular shot of LAX, and before we knew it, we were through the SIFRA.
All right, so now you're outside of the LAX surface area. The Bravo is now up above you at 5,000 feet, and you're on top of Santa Monica's airspace. So you are actually in Class Echo here.
Nice.
Pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
And that actually presents its own set of challenges. You're here above the Santa Monica airspace, which tops out at 2,700, and below the Los Angeles Class Bravo at 5,000. So there's no requirement to talk to anybody. And they will not contact you. You're squawking 1201. You should now switch back to 1200. And be advised, if you're continuing your route northwestbound as we were, you pass right through the final approaches for Van Nuys and Burbank Airport, which is only noted by this faded jet symbol on the chart. So make sure that you're in contact with SOCAL Approach if you're anywhere within this area. You will be in the way of the jets. This is deserving of an entirely different video, but for now, just be warned that you should be talking to SOCAL. For a more complete version of this transition, please visit patreon.com/learntfp. Also, the latest podcast has additional information and is a slightly different format, so we can kind of stretch out a bit and discuss the SIFRA. My thanks to the sponsors. There's going to be a lot more from this Southern California tour. We're at Ontario Airport, California. We're at Van Nuys Airport. But the tour goes on. I mean, here I am now in Orange County. I'm flying at John Wayne. But in the meantime, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified of uploads, and until next time, be safe and fly your best.